Driven, RE/MAX Hallmark's real estate show, with your hosts, Johnder, Perez, and Dan Salhany.
Awesome. Welcome everybody to RE/MAX Hallmark's Driven Real Estate Show. We are your host, Johnder, Perez, and
Salhany.
Welcome everybody. And today we have a fantastic guest that we're featuring. Her name is Gemma Leggett, and we're going to learn about Gemma's secret to successes in real estate, an amazing accomplishment that she has recently achieved in a few short years. She's going to tell us about details on that, and just some of her juicy secrets as to how she becomes successful and manages both her business and her lifestyle. So welcome, Gemma. Let's get started.
Thank you for having me.
It's our pleasure. Gemma, let's start with this question. What's the secret to your success in real estate?
There's no secret to the success. The secret is to work. Don't take no for an answer. Keep going and never stop.
Work and never stop.
I listen to podcasts in the morning or YouTube video, motivational videos. And this morning I listened to this one saying that there's two guys who got laid off. I was talking about it this morning. Two guys got laid off, and one started to look for a job. After 3 weeks, he couldn't find nothing. And he stopped. He just vegged on the couch, started drinking and talking to his friends who couldn't find a job, and everybody was complaining and all. And the other one kept on going and tried to look for something, networking, listen to the news, read the newspaper, respond to ads and everything. And then he couldn't find anything. But yet one day he decided to go to a company and say, hey, can I work for free for you? Can I volunteer? And they said yes, but they said, okay, we can't pay you. It's just volunteering. So he did. He was there before everybody started and after everybody left. And 4 months later, one of the manager got left the job for I don't know what reason, but they offered him the job. Right. So see, he just did not quit. Continue.
The story of resilience. So there's today as we chat, you're going to sort of share with us, I guess, secrets on how that parallels with your success. Gemma, how did you get started in real estate?
So I wanted to go in real estate for a very long time, and it was never the right time. You know, when you listen to what your head is telling you, oh, it's not the right time. You don't have enough money. You don't have this. You don't have that. So it will never, ever be the right time. But one day I decided, you know what? I can't do my job anymore. I don't like it. I want to go into real estate. I quit my job, not knowing what I was going to do, just knowing that I was going to go in real estate. And then I remember my husband came home, and I think that he was going to have a heart attack when I told him that I quit my job and I had nothing else.
What were you doing? Sorry, what were you doing before then?
I was a French teacher for adults.
Okay.
/ coordinator for that school. So three days a week coordinator, 2 days a week teaching for adults. French. And then, so yeah, that was it. I quit that. And then I went full-time to school to learn, because for me, it was hard in the matter of English being my second language. I pretty much had to translate every single words on those books, right? Because I couldn't understand everything. And then that's it. I got my license, and we moved to Innisville. So then we could live off one salary at first, because we didn't know how long it would take me to start really working. And within 2 weeks, I sold my first house.
Wow. Within 2 weeks, you sold your first house.
Yes. My husband was like, what do you mean you have a showing? I don't understand what you're talking about. You just started.
So interestingly enough, and I think one of the things that, when we see somebody producing at a very high level, we always question, we always wonder, what's the magic pill? What's the, so talk to us about your challenges. And, everybody thinks that, somebody that's producing at a high level has complete structure and no chaos in their life. But after our pre-interview the other day, I discovered that, and both Johnder and I discovered that there are things in your life that don't come together as easily as it appears. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, so 3.5 years ago when I started, the big push was when I lost my sister and my dad, 5 days apart. And I know that I talk a lot about it, but thanks to them, I must say that when I came home, back home from South Africa, where my sister was, I had a choice again, veg on the couch and do nothing, or just get up and go. And I remember it was early February when I came home. It was extremely cold outside, but I decided, you know what? I don't care how cold it is. I'm going to go door knock and I'm going to make it work. And all my anger, energy, sadness, everything is going to go into finding clients. At that time, believe it or not, I door knocked a lot of houses, and yet I didn't get any deal from it right away, because it's not right away. You don't get it right away. So, but I kept on going and kept on going. And I thought that, you know what, door knocking is something that I want to do because I meet people and I like it. And so many times just before door knocking that door, I would start tearing up and crying because I'm cold, I'm tired, I have enough, I'm hungry. But you know what? It's okay. Just sweep it and keep on going. So that was one of the biggest challenge at first, especially the other challenges. When you first start, you have no idea what you're doing. You don't know how to do it, what to do. People are giving objections, and the best word that I have in my vocabulary is next. If this is not working, next. I am not taking no for an answer. I'm going to continue. This year, how I achieved chairman was very difficult because I went through separation, plus COVID, plus homeschooling, this, that, the other. But once again, I remember somebody telling me, you know, if you separate, your business is going to suffer. And unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do what you were able to achieve before. And I thought to myself, there's no way I'm doing this, but I will separate. So there's no way I'm going to let go of my business, but I am separating. So yeah, lots of tears, lots of talking out. I called you, Johnder. You remember we sat down together, and I mean, no, it's not easy, but you decide every morning when you wake up what you're going to do, who you're going to hang out with, and what you're going to do today is going to change your life, not tomorrow, but in 2, 3, 5 years from now. So tell yourself, where do you want to be in 5 years from now? And the people who you're hanging out with matter. The book you read matter. The video you watch matters. And if you're feeding your mind and your time with the good stuff, then the result will be outstanding. If you're feeding your mind with crappy news and crappy people who will take you down and talk to you poorly, then in 5 years from now, your life will be garbage. And I don't want my life to be garbage.
Right, and I must say, I mean, Gemma, it wasn't an easy conversation to have, and of course, you being through it wasn't an easy process, as I can imagine, especially with family. And you know, we commend you for being so brave to be able to outwardly share that, you know, with people, and that's something that that Dan and we want to touch upon is, you know, part of the reasons for your success is because of this sharing. It's because of being you, being confident enough, being bold enough to put yourself out there. And to share that with people. One thing that I must say about Gemma, though, is that you have a very clear focus. Once you know what you want, you go for it. And you know, you're holding a box beside you. Why don't you show us what that box is?
So I received last week the Hall of Fame, and this means that in 3 years I have accomplished $1 million worth of commission.
So there you go. How fantastic is that? So 3 years of trading in real estate, over $1 million in commission. Last year you hit Chairman's Club. Such a fantastic achievement. And you said one word there, and you talked about video. You talked about video just a few moments ago, putting yourself, you know, sharing yourself out there, pushing out good content, consuming good content, reading good books. But video has been one thing that you were really great at in the past year, social media as well. So why don't we dive a little bit into, you know, some realtors they like to be busy, and they like to get into the social media. They like to dabble in the video. They like to dabble in certain things, but it just keeps them busy. What's different about Gemma, for those of you watching and listening to this, is that she has found some sort of a formula, some sort of a secret way of turning these opportunities and turning these channels into something that has been productive to her. So why don't you take us a little bit into how does your social media strategy work? How does your video strategy work? And what have been the results that you've seen from putting yourself out there, just being who you are?
Yeah, so I did not like social media at all when I first started. I remember my friend, I think it was 10 years ago, my friend pushed me to open a Facebook account, and I didn't want to do it. I did not understand it. I didn't want to spend my time and my energy there. But then I started, and then it becomes quite addictive too, right? So I continued. And then when I started being a realtor, I remember my broker of record at that time told me video is very important. If you can do video, that would be fabulous. She actually hired Michael Krissa, who is a very good professional on video, and he came and taught us a video class. And if you go back to my YouTube and you look at my first video 3 years ago, guys, it sucks. It's bad. It's awful. I look awful. I don't know what I'm talking about. My English is not good, anything. But again, like, just don't take no for an answer, and just continue. Just continue, do it again and again and again and again. And I was talking with Christina not a long time ago about Reels with Instagram. And she said, you need to do those TikTok video and this and that. And I'm like, I really don't like TikTok video. I don't like any of this. But hey, if this is going to get me business, and if this is going to get me where I want to be in 5 years from now, I'll do it. I'll put the music back there and I'll dance and I'll make a fool of myself. I have no problem. You know what I mean? But do I love myself on video? No, I can't stand it. I actually cannot stand it.
So I think that's brilliant. And it's one of the conversations that we as a leadership team and a management team really try to convey with our agents, in that, the word Facebook, it just for some people, it just makes them cringe, or Twitter, or whatever the case may be. And they're just like, oh my gosh, and I think that what you've done, Gemma, is that you've realized that this is just a tool. It's a resource, right, and a tool that's inexpensive, and that allows you to, to reach a lot of people very rapidly, with very little cost associated with it, right? So that's the beauty of it for somebody that's on a budget or whatnot. I do want to mention one thing before I forget, for those of you that are on this call. And Gemma was saying earlier about reading books, and about who you're hanging out with and what videos you're listening to and so forth. Gemma is a Chairman Club member, right? So she did over $500,000 in gross commission last year, after 3.5 years of being in real estate. I was on a call this morning. It's called Mentor Mondays, that we put on, and Barb Brindle hosts it. And I popped onto the call, and guess who was on there? Gemma Leggett, right? And so it really resonated with me, and it really made me realize that regardless of what your status is, and regardless of how great you are, or how much volume you do and whatnot, it's like there's always an opportunity to learn and grab a couple nuggets. And Raha and I were talking at the beginning of the show about attending these things. So I really applaud you for that, Gemma, for not thinking that you're beyond anything, right? That Mentor Mondays is specifically catered towards new agents or newer realtors, but yet you were still there regardless of the volume.
Well, yeah, because I wake up every morning unemployed. So, right. So I have to remember every morning to do the right things for my business. And if any training that I can attend, especially with Barb, any training that I can attend is going to push me that day further, because, those training, we take them when we first start, and then we don't. That's a big mistake. We should keep on going back, because the first time you listen to it with brand new eyes. Now I'm listening to it in a different way, and I'm learning more differently and how I can do differently.
Yeah.
How I
But
can do
your
things
absorption rate, your absorption rate of information, and then the key thing is execution, of course, right?
That's
It's
right.
taking the nuggets and executing from there. So I just wanted to go back to something that Johnder touched on earlier about your attitude and your purpose behind your social media intention, right? So I know that you obviously wanted to touch your audience and touch your consumers and make them know, hey, this is me, this is who I am and whatnot. But you also got a lot of other benefits from the social platforms. Can you talk to us about that and how it's expanded your reach, not just with consumers, but and I'll let you pick up on that from there.
Well, you mean only for social media, or do you want to talk about the YouTube videos too? Because it's very, very different.
Well, everything, just everything in general. I mean, what you mentioned to us last week in our conversation is how many doors this has opened for you. You know, just being out there and being and actually not being a secret realtor, right? Like not being a secret agent.
Right.
Like you're actually. And what's really cool about your videos is you're not flaunting these $1 million homes and all this other stuff. You're just talking about day-to-day challenges and day-to-day positive things with your kids in the videos. And anyways, I'll let you go. I think you know where I'm going with that.
Well, I want to show also the reality of being a realtor is not all glamorous, right? And I wanted to make fun of myself, obviously first. So I've done a couple of videos that have gone viral because there is thousands of views on YouTube, and that have got me to certain groups where people are now talking to me and they're like, oh, well, you know, I would like to interview you. For example, 2 weeks ago, I was doing an interview with Barry Lebo. And thanks to him and this interview, I got an agent from Hallmark actually who called me to refer me to her client who wants to sell a house in Newmarket. So this exposure definitely exposed me to the clients and public, but also to other realtors who can relate with who I am and what I do and like it, right?
So who do you like? How do you come up with the concepts of these videos? Because whenever I see them on the feed, like there's so much creativity from it, and you know, do you hire an agency? Do they come up with all these things? Who does the actual video? Who does the production? Because it's very, very intentional. So what's the secret behind that, John?
Well, it depends which one we're talking. If we're talking the TikTok one, I like to make fun. I like to be funny. I don't like anything serious. I mean, I'm serious when I work for sure, but if you can make fun of yourself and if you can make people laugh, people will want to be with you and hang out with you, right? If you're boring as hell, am I going to listen to a video that is bothering me? You know what I mean? Like, I'm going to be bored to my mind. I'm just going to skip it. And in real estate is like, do you want to sell your house? Let me show you how to do this. And we are going to stage. And I'm like, oh, heck no. Like, it's been done and redone over and over again. Let's do something completely different. Let's have fun and be light. So how I come up with it, I tell my videographer, okay, this is what I want to do, how I want to achieve it. Now, whatever you're going to do, you're the professional, you're going to videotape it and you're going to do the editing, right? So he's great in that sense, but he understands what I want to achieve, and the idea come from me, yes. Because I'm a crazy person, you know that, right?
Oh, crazy in a creative way. So I mean, so for those of you listening, the idea is basically, you know, don't go with the status quo. Like you've seen every realtor video and how they've done it. Gemma finds, you know, what I like about her videos is she finds the humor in our daily in what we do on a daily basis, and she amplifies it to the point that it's so exaggerated, but it really, the character, like her character comes out and how much she's passionate about the business comes out. But it's also become sort of a signature. Like whenever a video of you comes out, somebody's know they've got to watch it because there's going to be something interesting in it. Now, in terms of budget, like, so we all have our cell phones. We can all shoot videos on our
Mhm.
cell phones these days, but and of course, I've seen some of your videos, the one with the Lamborghini in it, for example. There's a bit of different production in it. What's the secret behind your video production? Do you hire like a professional videographer to do it? Do you have maybe your kids shoot the videos? Like, what do you do behind the scenes? Like, what is it that we don't?
If my kid was shooting the video, I would be bankrupt today. I would not make no money. No, you have, it's again the same thing for us. When you go on a listing appointment and you explain to your sellers why they should pay you 2.5%
Mhm.
instead of going with a 1% agent. The 1% agent is going to do it with his phone, and they're paying you 2.5 to do it professionally. So I hire professional.
Okay, fair enough.
So if you had to give some advice, Gemma, and again, we've all seen your videos, we've all seen, and you talked to us the other day about how it's expanded your opportunities within the network too, right? Which is something that we as a management team are really encouraging. I mean, we're part of such a huge footprint in the real estate world in Ontario as a brokerage and as a group. And I know that, I know that agents come to me and basically talk about you, and they're like, "Oh, do you see that crazy agent, Gemma? She did this awesome video."
I told you I was
But
crazy.
but the thing about it is it's resonating with people, right?
Yes.
And I think right now with the pandemic that's going on, and you know what? Let's be honest, right? Like, I had a crappy day yesterday, right? And this pandemic thing really bugged me for pretty much most of the day. I got stressed out, just like all of you guys. Like, we're all normal, and everybody's going through their own challenges and their own things. So I think that the fact that you're just yourself, and I've seen some of your videos where you've made some mistakes and you've made some errors, and you're okay with it. You just kind of just run with it, and it's just a natural connection with humanity. And I think it's a natural connection with what people can sort of allow to, they can embrace within themselves and so forth. So I commend you for that, and certainly encourage everybody that's on this call. It's probably about getting a little bit uncomfortable, and we did this, Johnder and I, get uncomfortable with being comfortable, or get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because as you said last week, you hated social media. You wanted nothing to do with it. Yet, now we're seeing an evolution of somebody that just said, you know what, the heck with it. If this is going to create opportunity for me, here I go.
But this is the thing
So
with me,
if you
like,
had,
if I don't like to do something, I actually going to push myself to do it. I didn't like going door knocking, and I push myself to do it until I get comfortable with it. And once I'm comfortable, I'm going to do something else and something else and something else. There's another thing that I want to share today because it's important to me. Today, exactly 3 years ago, my dad passed away. Today, I was at the hospital, and he had his hand in mine, okay? And I was there until he closed his eyes. This morning, I woke up very crappy, crying, really feeling freaking crappy, okay? And then I got up my bed, and then I put on my YouTube a motivational video, as I do very often, to pump me up. And I said, okay, you know what? Today is going to be a great day. I'm not going to let this put me down. Yes, I'll have my pity party. And I did. I had my pity party. And now I'm done. Let's get to business. Let's go to work. Let's go.
That's part of the strong Gemma that we know, is that, there's always going to be something in our lives, challenges
Always.
or reflections. And it's not, I mean, again, it's not bad to, I'm not going to say dwell into it, but to sort of embrace it, right? Because in a sense, we do have to embrace these challenges or remembrances and these moments. But, the Gemma that we know, no matter what, like, you'll use that as your strength to go into the day, because it's not something you let go anyway, right? But it is something you carry with you, but you find a positive way to use it and to move forward with your day. So speaking about what you do, like what you've done today and what you do every single day in order for you to be achieving this level of success, Gemma, what does a typical day of Gemma Leggett, the realtor, the mom, the family person, the woman? What is that what does Gemma look like on a daily basis from the moment you get up to the moment you call it a day? What do you fill your day with?
Well, if I'm lucky, I slept on my own with none of my kids, but usually it doesn't happen. So usually it's one or two in my bed jumping on me already. And then first thing first, right? Get the kids ready. Right now, ready means get downstairs, have breakfast, and start school. And then it depends. No day is different, but I really try to dedicate at least 2 hours of my time every day to prospect. Prospecting is social media. Right now, no door knocking really, but mostly social media, trying to come up with new ideas, trying to reach out to my CRM, my database, my past clients, just quick text to say, hey, how you doing? I'm thinking about you. Depending on who I'm talking to or whatnot, I'll pick up the phone. Sometimes I don't feel like talking at all, so it's okay. I will not spend 2 hours. I'll spend just an hour, but you got to do it every day. As soon as you stop, your business will stop. Whatever you do today will impact your next 3 months, 6 months, a year, right? So it's prospecting. Then training. It's important for me to learn every single day. I want to read a book. I don't really read, as I said before. I turn my car into learning center where I listen to Audible. I do not really watch TV or movies. It's rare. It happens if I want to relax, but it's rare. Usually if I watch TV, it's YouTube, and it's to show me and teach me what I can do better. For example, NLP. I wanted to learn about NLP. So there you go. I'm going on YouTube and I'm tuning into NLP videos. So the education never stops. I feel that we will learn until we die, and that's what I want to do. And that's also what I want to bring to my clients is, you know what, I don't know yet, but I will find out. I never say I don't know. I don't know yet. And it's a difference, because when you say to somebody, I don't know, okay, well, you close the door, the person is going to go and find out. But I don't know yet means that you will find out for them, right? So I don't know yet what tomorrow for me is, but I will find out, and I will find a way to get the best out of it.
Well, it's
If that
interesting. It
answers your
sounds like
question.
you fill all. Yeah, I think so, of course. And I think for whoever's on this call, it's about picking up, it's rationalizing and internalizing some of probably the challenges and the hesitations that they may have. So there's no wrong answer whatsoever here, because I'm listening to you and I'm getting stuff out of it, even though I didn't ask the question, or, so it's all great. So so tell us, Gemma, a new agent gets into the business 3.5 years ago. What advice would you give to them?
Keep going, think out of the box, think differently, don't listen to anybody. Do you know how many times when I was a kid, I heard, I cannot do it? I couldn't do it. People thought that I couldn't because I was not pretty enough. I was not intelligent enough. I was not this enough. I was not that enough. I don't care what people think. I really don't. And I don't follow people and copy them. I look at them, I look at what they do, and I think for myself, how could I implement what they're doing in my style, with my energy? So just don't look at what other people are doing. Don't go and follow everybody else because they don't know where they're going. Okay? Like if you follow the crowd, you're going to become a 9 to 5 person who works, and there's nothing wrong with that. If that's what you want to do in life, to work 9 to 5 and to do the same job every day, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just not what I want to do. So I'm not going to follow everybody. I'm going to go, you're going to turn right, I'll turn left. And I may or may not attain what I want right away, but eventually I will.
Absolutely. And that's where you
Well,
get
it
the
sounds like it's
confidence, right? So
yeah. Sorry, go ahead, Johnder. I'm all excited here.
you
I
got
want to hear
that
more.
fired
Sorry.
up. No, and that's the beauty. I mean, we come up with a title for these, and that tagline, I don't care what people think. I mean,
No, I don't care.
Gemma obviously would not be a chairman producer if she didn't care about her clients. So of course she cares about her
Yeah,
client. She takes good
absolutely.
care of her clients, exceptional care. But she's not like, there's nobody judging her but herself,
Well, the
right?
thing is, I don't know. You remember Johnder, that video that I did with the car, right? The
Yeah,
Lamborghini.
exactly.
I posted that video on a Facebook group, and I got slammed. And I honestly, I was crying because I'm thinking, holy shit, what did I do? Um, should I have done that? Because people were like, what are you selling? Are you selling a house? Are you selling a car? Are you selling this woman? Why are you using, why are we seeing her legs and this and that? I honestly, I really second guessed myself then. And then Ken answered on that thread and said, keep going, keep doing what you're doing, don't listen to anyone. And then I snap out of my own insecurity, which I start to listen to people and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm listening to them. He's right, I shouldn't be. The reason why I did this video is because I wanted to do this that way. It was intentional. So keep on going and don't look back.
There you go.
And that video was
That's
actually
awesome.
featured in the real estate magazine.
There you go. Right. So it's about individuality, right? I mean, a lot of us we tend to be sheep. We follow and we play it safe. But what's led to Gemma's success, if you've seen any of her marketing, any of her videos, any of her social, is she's not shy about putting herself out there. And when you put yourself out there, yeah, you don't care what people think because you're you, and that's the best person that you can be. And I think we need to have, a lot more of us have to have that level of confidence, and we'll see results as Gemma has seen. Right? Shall we
I
get
see.
into?
I see there's a question here. How do you manage being a mom and the Gemma Leggett agent? The struggle is real for trying to be everything to everyone. Yeah, the struggle is real. Like, I remember in my first year of real estate, it was my daughter's birthday. And a client wanted to buy a $1.3 million home in Barrie, which in Barrie 3 years ago was a big deal. And it was her birthday, and I had to choose between my client and my kid. It's not a good feeling, trust me.
So which one did you choose? I know we're all
Client.
thinking that, so I'm going to be bold and ask the question.
Yeah. Well, I chose the client, but I promised my daughter that the very next day and the weekend I would make up for it. And I explained to her the reason why I was doing it. And by explaining to her, it was hard. She cried, I cried, everybody cried, right? It was really hard. But that $1.3 million home was going to bring me so much money that, yeah, I know, honey, it's your birthday and it's today. However, today, this is what mommy needs to do for us, for our family.
So the challenges are real in your life, just like they are in everybody else's life, right? With making
Absolutely.
decisions. And I mean, I can't even tell you how many times I got yelled at while having dinner and the phone would
Yep.
ring or in the middle of an offer. And it's like, what do you mean you got to go?
Yep.
So, I'm like, well, I got to go, right? But it is about balancing the other half and having that open dialogue and conversation, I think, which is what you're pretty good at. And I know that you deal with your chaotic days too and so forth, where not everybody's going to be compliant and everybody's going to buy into what we're doing and so forth, but you're still forging forward and figuring out what works. There was another question here, if I may, Gemma, and it has to do with your door knocking. So obviously none of us are door knocking these days, just due to the pandemic and whatnot and so forth. But there's a question that says, when you first started door knocking and had no past selling or that type of experience, what did you say, or what type of marketing material did you hand out? Like, what worked where people resonated?
So I don't have one with me right now, but what I created is a small magnet with a list of people who to call if you need. who to call if you need a painter, electrician, photographer, lawyer, whatever, travel agent, whatever you want. So I had this list of people who I asked first, obviously, or I used them myself. And then I created that magnet, and I would go door to door and say, hi, my name is Gemma Leggett. I live around the corner. The market is on fire right now, blah, 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 whatever you want to say. I never say the same thing because it depends on how the person responds to you. If somebody starts talking to me, then I engage for more. But then I never left without giving them something. And that something is not my business card, because my business card is going to go in the garbage. So I want to bring them something of value. And if you knew how many people still have my magnet in their garage or their toolbox or whatever, and are calling me from it years later, it's huge.
Well, I think the best part of that too is you're not just giving the consumer something, but you're also giving those service providers some reach within the community, right? And there's nothing that people love more than you being an advocate, especially today with what's happening, taking care of local businesses and local business people and so forth. So that's a wonderful tip and a wonderful thing to share. So we appreciate that. I know that there was a couple more questions here.
We have a question from Diane, which is, Gemma, would you recommend a real estate coach?
You know what? Somebody who's good for me will not be good for you. It really depends on your personality. You really have to decide what you want to do and where you want to do it. For me, before I will hire a coach, because I have not yet hired a coach, is when I will have exhaust everything that I already can reach. We have so much on Hallmark Hub, on the trainings. Like you can, with Hallmark, we can attend a training every single day if we want to, or look at video every single day if we want to. So why would you want to pay somebody to tell you what Hallmark is telling you for free to start? Then you have books, then you have YouTube. So until you exhaust those three, then go and get a coach if you would like to. But if you are a person who needs to be pushed, then get a coach. And the coach every 2 weeks will ask you if you did your phone calls, and if you send your email, and if you reach your database and blah. I can say that to you too if you want me to. I'll call you and I'll say, get off your bed, get off your ass, and start calling.
You can hire Gemma as your coach. Okay, you can.
No, by all means, no, thank you.
You know what the best part of this is? After 32 years of selling real estate and being in this industry, I think the greatest thing you could do for yourselves, honestly, is get somebody that can help you. If you don't have it in yourself, is to get somebody to help you with mindset.
Yes, mindset.
Like everything I'm listening to you right now is about attitude. Right? I mean, the real estate is just the product, guys. I mean, it could be this mask that you're selling. It could be this mouse or whatever the case may be, but it's how you, Gemma, you figured out a way to approach not wasting your day. I mean, you get up and you go to bed and you're listening to motivational and you're listening to inspirational and you're listening to educational. So it's all creating, positive flow, with your endorphins and everything. Like everything's positive. So it sounds like it helps you deal with the odd negative obstacle that you run into. So I think that's brilliant. And one of the encouraging things that I hope you all take away from this, regardless of whether she's brilliant at her videos or whatever the case may be, I think it's how she's adapted a mindset. Even with your challenge today being a very, very difficult day for you, you're embracing right now, and I could see that you're glowing, and it's very natural and it's very true. And I'm sure your dad and your sister would be very proud of everything that you've accomplished, and you're forging forward and you're doing great things in the marketplace. We're certainly proud to have you as part of our organization, because you represent who we are, guys, as an industry, in my opinion, exceptionally well. And you bring a lot of the reality, and you've got such a great reputation. Patrick had a really great question here. What's next for Gemma? Are you thinking of team, buyer's agent, HGTV?
HGTV.
No, that's a good question.
You have those contracts on your desk, right? Just You can tell us. I don't know.
I was approached by HGTV. For some reason, it never happened. It didn't follow up. They didn't call me back. I don't know if because COVID, the second wave hit, so I don't know what happened, and I did not follow up either. Team, I don't know. The problem is, I don't know if I can. And I don't want this to sound awful, but I don't know if I can babysit in the matter of like teach somebody from zero. I'll be happy to share what I know and how I do it, but now be somebody responsible for their business and bring them business. I don't know. I'm not there yet. I have an assistant. I hired an assistant, a licensed assistant, until I can no longer do business, just her and I, then we'll see the next step. But I'm not there yet. I think I can still handle a little bit more.
No, I mean, it's good to know what you want and what you're willing to do, right? I mean, the reason why Gemma is productive is because she has that clear focus. She knows what she wants to do. So there were other questions about what books, what's a recent book that you would recommend, Gemma? That you've read lately?
So the one that really helped me out was Unstoppable Confidence.
Okay.
That one, I read it again and again and again, and I read it often.
Unstoppable Confidence, and who's
Unstoppable Confidence. Eat That Frog was really good. Who Moved My Cheese? Very good. Anything from Dale Carnegie, obviously. Think and Grow Rich. Like anything that. But again, what works for me may not work for you, right? So you have to find the book that will resonate with you.
Nothing real estate, all mindset.
Mindset, what I
Pretty
do is video, YouTube video. Mindset, almost every day I listen to a mindset video.
Fantastic. I'm just looking through the stream here, guys. Johnder and I really want to say thank you so much. I did post Gemma's contact information on the chat here, but I think most of you know where you could find her. For those of you that are in the different regions, there's some people here from Ottawa, which is great, up in Barrie and all of our other regions. So really appreciate you guys being here. And Johnder, I'll let you just conclude.
Yeah. So Gemma, why don't you give us a last word of just to greet everybody, say how they can connect with you or send you business, and maybe just something before we go.
Yeah, so I'm never too busy for your referral, guys. I am in the York region office, so Aurora, Newmarket, Bradford, Innisfil. That's where I cover most of my business. And you can call me 416-824-7475. Email me gemma@gemmalegget.ca. Thank you so much. I'm really, really happy and honored that you guys chose me to do your first Driven of the year. And thank you to everybody who attended. Patrick, thank you very much for cheering up. I see you. Yeah, you can contact me anytime.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Gemma. And thank you everyone for joining us. Please be sure to connect with Gemma and send her business, and feel free to interact and connect with her. And make sure you visit our website, www.remaxhallmarkdriven.com, because this will be on there. Not that Gemma needs to be any more of a YouTube star, but this video will also be on YouTube once it's up and running. Thank you so much, everybody. And Gemma, thank you again. We wish you very much success in 2021 and much, much more success to you, and all the best to you and to your family.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Awesome.
Take care.
Bye.
Have a great day, everybody.
You too.
Bye-bye now.